All right, here we are. It's Tuesday. A little bit late on this video, but that's okay. It was worth the wait. We're going to just kind of quickly go through where we stand at this point. I know you guys are going to see the place Friday night, but it'll be different. It's during the day, lights are bright. Of course, you'll have these nice lights to turn on. Actually, a whole lot's going to change before you get here. But let's go through where we stand at this point. All our appliances are in place. They still have to be hooked up, but we've got everything in place. And as you can see, your countertops are in. Backsplash is on. Microwave is installed. This oven is leveled out and everything. All it has to be, they'll pull it out, hook up to 220 for it, put it back in place. The fridge is in and on. Kind of a nice thing. It's got nice LED lights in it too. It's kind of got a blue hue to it. So that's I know Jeff, you saw this, but it's kind of nice to look in there and see that blue kind of hue. And same thing. Well, actually, that looks incandescent, so can't have it all. Anyway, we've got a coat of paint on the walls here, and we'll go back and hit it with a second coat of paint once we get all the electrical work, all the plumbing stuff, and all the drywall patching. There's going to be a lot of drywall patching. These walls are old. They got a lot of dips and curves and buckles to them. So basically what we like to do is get a coat of paint on here, kind of see, take it all in, see what it's going to look like, the changes in the paint, locations, and everything like that. And then with that consistent coat of paint on the wall, and now the walls aren't marked up or anything, then we can go back through with a light. We'll be able to go ahead and mark out where our inclusions are and everything that needs to be patched. As you can see, your countertops on here, sinks in. We got your soap dispenser, your faucet, and your air switch. Well, we got equally spaced GFIs either side. This is very cool. He did exactly as we talked about. And you can see you got some little yellow inclusions, kind of gold yellow inclusions there. Not too much. Very nice choice of stone. I like the stone a lot. Not that that matters, but it's a good thing. They came in this morning, and probably, Dave, what would you say? They were probably here about 2 hours?
2 hours.
Something like that. Cut out the outlets on site, and very quick, efficient, clean job. So that is done, and now you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to feel like. Now this fridge, this kitchen feels very big now, and of course, we had bumped the cabinetry back just a couple inches. We got the L is gone here now. All this wall that was making this feel kind of claustrophobic is gone. So now it feels very open and airy. You've got some tall cabinetry going all the way to the ceiling. That gives you a sense of the room being bigger. The large tile helps with that. So you guys really made some great choices on the selections here in order to make this feel like a gourmet kitchen. So that's what we're going to call it. Got your dishwasher here with the buttons on the top. That'll get put together as well. Everything's just kind of sitting in place right now. And more than likely, this will be operating when you get here. Dishwasher will be operating, stove will be operating, microwave will be on. We'll make sure the fridge is at the suggested cooling levels. And that way you guys can come in. I would suggest just leaving all this plastic on. I'll take it off when we do our final cleaning. And that way if anybody bumps up against anything, we don't get any Mars on the stainless steel. Let's go ahead and step into here. As you can see, our hallway is still green. As it's been, we've done a little bit more spackling. We'll just let this sit, do the rest of our bumping and bruising to the walls, and then we'll do a final spackle, get our baseboard on, and then finish out these walls with a final coat of paint. Same thing with the ceilings. The ceilings will be what we'll actually hit first, and then we'll come down and face the walls out finally. We'll put a coat of paint on the trim as well. So you can see this side. This gives you about 28 inches of walking space in here, so that should be plenty. Doesn't feel too tight. I think it'll feel real nice. When you have the floor down here, I think it's going to be a real nice, consistent kind of feel to walking through here. We got a kick space to put on here. We are still waiting on our fridge panel, waiting on our refrigerator cabinet filler strip. the 8-foot stock basically, which was not shipped via freight, it was shipped via UPS, and it was back ordered. So I just talked to those guys, and they said they just got a whole bunch of the Cherry Shaker stuff in, and they think our stuff was in it. So my guess is we will not see that stuff before you guys get here Friday night. You'll see that when we're finishing. So, but we'll let you. We'll do some more video of that so you can see what's going on. Living room pretty much the same. I will make sure that wall's open so you can get in there and we can see what's going on in the attic there. The beadboard should be here in a day or so, so it's very possible that I'll have a crew in here to get that beadboard up and get that installed, so you guys may be able to see at least partially what that's going to look like when you get down here. And when you guys arrive here, we should be down to grouting the rest of the tile, the shower door, and the floor, finishing the ceiling out and putting the finish coats of poly on that, the cabinet in there, and a few other minor odds and ends. And really it'll be down to all the cosmetics of really just puttying the walls, doing all the drywall point up, and then getting our final coats of paint on, filling in baseboard, filling in the cabinetry items, kick space, things like that. That should get us down really just to cosmetic stuff, and that's where we can really spend some time really kind of tweaking things and getting it looking great. So come on into the bathroom, we'll show you what's going on in here. Our cabinet is in and covered. The countertop is on. The sink I've got just sitting in there. I'll let the plumber install that. And what I really want to show you here is what's going on with the tile. I just want you to see this. I've done this. I did this little mock-up of the herringbone, so you guys can kind of see how this all happens. So what we've got here is we want some kind of centralizing and lining up some lines here. So what we've done is I've got this little triangle, this little right triangle here, and we'll have 5 of these along this space, and these last 2 will just be nipped off on the corners. So 5 fit nicely, looks nice and even, consistent. We've got a center line that runs down through our valve, down to our spout, and up through our shower head. And then, of course, we've got our flat caps on the outside. Nice thing about these flat caps is the flat caps are actually the thickness of the thicker part of the tile. So when we grout this, there'll be a little bit of a bump here, but at least the bump will be to the finished surface and not to the actual ceramic surface. So I was kind of concerned about that, but the way this came in, this actually worked out perfect. So also, while we're looking at this is actually the corner piece in here, but I'm going to use it to show you my idea here, and that is what I think I'd like to do is I'd like to 45 this and return this to the wall, just like you would with chair rail. And then we're going to have a flat space in here, so we'll actually just cut this off straight. It won't be this piece, but a piece like this. And then that will allow for our track for our door to run in here. I've actually called the door guy, and I've asked him to send me the dimensions of the track and where he feels it should sit on the tub deck itself. And that way we'll get maximum width out of here. More than likely, it's probably going to cover this joint, so you probably will never see this joint anyway. And then we'll have a little flat piece in here so you can run that track all the way up to about the mark of the shower head. And then these flat caps will continue up past that. So the nice thing is we would have this out here, this chair rail would continue out here and 45 back. And let me know what you think about that. The other option is actually remove this piece and just continue, let me show you, just continue the flat cap straight up. And that might be a simpler option. Well, it would be a simpler option, but I just wanted to give you guys the option. Either the chair rail comes out past and returns to the wall, or we keep the chair rail just inside the shower door and we just keep this flat out here with a flat piece in here to receive the track. So no big deal. I'm going to be working on herringbone on this wall and on this wall. That way our plumber can come in, he can get his stuff set. I'll just grout these areas for him, and then we'll focus on getting the fields done on the other walls. On the back wall, you can see, here's a good example of this chair rail, what it looks like when it's run a long distance, and the brick pattern. And then obviously we have herringbone up here. On this side, when we come into the niche, here's another question for you. And tile always has a lot of questions because the design's very specific, and typically we'll do a drawing of all the walls that are involved. However, on this one, I know Maggie did the drawings, and we just kind of left it with her, and you guys did that initial drawing. We've got it here, but it doesn't really spell out the niche area. With this tile, the tile doesn't have finished edges. That's why you use the bullnose tile, or actually this is called a flat cap. And we use this flat cap on here, and there's a couple of ways that this can be done. Now this tile would be cut to fit in here, and then my thought was that we want to take one of these flat caps and put it over the edge of that in the opening. I think that's probably the best way to do it, but I wanted to, again, talk with you guys about it. I think this probably works, and then inside this field, we would just use this tile just cut short, and this would just be filled in between the glass shelves. And so that's a thought there. The only other thing you really could do is we could bring this tile around, 45 it on the edge, and then 45 a long piece of tile on this edge, like that, and 45 it right there, and then put them together on the corner. The one problem that I have with that is you can't polish this tile because it's ceramic, and it would create a sharp edge, which I don't think we could get sufficiently grouted so it's not a cheese grater. So you kind of end up with a sharp edge. I don't know, in a bathtub, shower, might not be a great idea. However, I wanted you guys to have the option. So this would be option one, and then we fill in behind with a piece of this, cut off to fit to the wall. We continue our brick pattern below the chair rail. We'll just run the chair rail through here. So this actually would be like that. And then chair rail would go through this opening because it doesn't get in the way of the glass shelves. We've got 3 glass shelves here, and the middle glass shelf falls somewhere right in here. Top one falls there, and the bottom one falls in here. So that would be option one. Option two would be the subway tile, again, subway tile with the sharper corner. I wouldn't suggest it, but you may. And that's the only 2 options. The other item is this. We'll have this tile going across like this. However, we do this, and again, that takes care of that sharp edge. And then on the outside, we would do the same exact thing. We would run this tile to the outside of it, and then we'd have the subway tile inside here. And then, again, in order to continue this border all the way around or go across the ceiling, it'll come down the other side, and this flat cap would run all the way down to the baseboard. So, just to kind of give you some ideas there, we'll ship this up to you. Okay, we'll ship this up to you. He tells me I've got 1 minute. We'll ship this up to you tonight, and you guys can just send me back an email or text me or give me a call on the phone and let me know. I think that's where we stand. I actually stand in the tub right now, and I think that's going to take care of us for now.